Anyone can invest in real estate, but not everyone can make money. In this video, we are going to be talking to Jeff.
What's happening?
Hey Jeff, how are you, man?
Good, good. How are you?
He's going to show us two of many properties that he is flipping and has flipped. Can you tell us more about this house? How much did you pay?
How much we paid? We paid.
Tell me more about this house and how did you get the deal? I always look at these people flipping houses and I always wondered how much money can you actually make doing this? So if you flip two of these a month, that's 7,000 months, 1.2 million a year. Right? A lot of people want to get into flipping homes. The sad reality is a lot of people lose money in this industry. One of the most successful real estate investors I know told me, you gotta find a deal. And talking to Jeff, I deeply understood what this guy meant. So without further ado, let's go and talk to Jeff.
What's happening?
Hey Jeff, how are you, man?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, good. So yeah, thank you for letting us in. And can you tell us more about this house? How much did you pay and what's your plan in the next, let's say, 2 to 3 months?
Sure. So the plan is, well, how much we paid? We paid $175,000 for this. Acquired it from an owner who wanted a fast exit and inherited the property and was just ready to be done and moved on to the next thing. And we've got, so we bought it, quick cash close, and we're figuring out what we want to do. We've got a couple metrics that we like to use to figure out, should we just do minor fixes, put it back on the market, or should we take on a full rehab and take a little bit longer time and do a little bit better job and then put it back on the market in a little while.
Makes sense, yeah.
We have dollar values that we target. So if we're going to do the long rehab, full rehab, we like to pocket, around 50 grand. And if we cannot get that, if we think, 10 to 20 grand is a little bit more achievable with just sticking it back on the market quickly, we go with that option instead.
Okay. So when you told me you paid like 180,000, 175, right?
Yep.
In this area, I thought like it's like some really beat up two-bedroom house, and this is actually really nice. I think like RV on this is like close to 350, right?
Yeah. We buy when we have options. Like this is a property where you can tell, like, I have some options no matter what. I could rent it. It's going to cash flow out positive based on what we bought it for. It is anything we can do to create options for ourselves is what we target when we're buying. So,
can you show us inside?
Sure. Now, this isn't the most attractive house in the world, but this fits our, this is what fits our buying model. We don't want to buy the most attractive house up front, but newer build in Brunswick, 90s build. So space-wise, it's good size. It's on a busier street, so the pro of having it on a busy street is you get the large backyard. So you can see back here, this is one of the selling, as you come through this ugly room, one of the selling features is the very large yard that you get, when you buy a house on a busier street like this.
Nice. Yeah, so let's go. And you have one bathroom right there. Is it a full bathroom or?
This is just a half bath.
Okay.
So you can see, this is a very dated house. Condition's pretty tired, but it's not dead. It wouldn't take much to make this a rental. It wouldn't take much just to make this a, what I call a quick cosmetic flip. The kitchens and the bathrooms are what take the most time. But it does have new windows. It's got nice HVAC. Again, space-wise, it's good. It's in a good neighborhood, so it fits a lot of our buying criteria.
How much can you get in rent for something like this? What would you say?
Something like this, now we'd have to clean this up. You're in the dirtiest room. Something like this goes for over $2,000 in Brunswick. So again, options, right? Like when we buy, the most important thing is us to grab the deal and have options for what we want to do. Because when we buy it, we don't always know exactly what we're getting into or what we want to do. But we know the deal is good, and it just makes sense for us to grab it.
Yeah, I mean, you have unfair advantage because you are in real estate and you know the market and stuff.
And I will say that's where I've won in my investment journey, is I have made a lot of mistakes managing contractors, managing timelines. What has kept me insulated from taking losses, what has kept me insulated from basically losing on deals, is I've always bought at good numbers and I've understood what my exit numbers are, and I've been realistic. I see so many people who are investing or flipping who overshoot their after repair values or overspend on the buy. And those are the two things that I think I've done correctly, and I think I've done, those are my plus skills. The middle part, the contractor management part, I have so much room to grow, so much room to be better. I don't do anything myself. I'm not a handy person. It is, other than junk out, I'm really useless in terms of renovating a house. But I understand my prices, I understand my numbers, and that's kept me insulated from making big mistakes.
Okay, so of course we're going to save these questions for later, but how hard it is to find a deal like this?
So this one, this came to us. We run Google ads for people. I'm also a residential real estate agent, and there are times when we meet with people where it's very clear that they don't necessarily want a real estate agent. They just want to get rid of their house, and so we met with the seller, and we go through their options. Like, this house was, we've already junked out this house. This house was not a hoarder house, but it had a ton of stuff in it. It was a heavy 4-figure junk out bill. These were out of the area people who inherited the house. They did not want to take on the task of getting all this stuff done. They just, you can hear kind of where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
They just wanted out.
They didn't care too much.
And we were we're very clear with them. We tell them, like, hey, this is what the on the market value is. If you put it on the market with a realtor, here's what it would be. I want you to know that I'm buying it for this number and I'm going to sell it for profit, but I'm going to take on this work to do that. And some people just want the quick exit, and we want to be more things to more people. So they sign paperwork understanding what we're doing, but we're very clear, and they saw it as a win-win, and we saw it as a win-win.
Yeah.
So this was a long answer to your question. This was someone who just filled out a Google response. They wanted to sell their house.
Perfect. And this is the full bathroom over there.
Yeah, so if you want my one hesitation on flipping something like this, I don't love this bathroom to bedroom layout.
Yeah, nobody does.
This will, in feedback, when we're realtors, we get feedback from buyers and sellers. In feedback, I can already hear the buyers now. I don't love that layout. So if we do flip this, we're going to have to figure out a better way to do that bathroom. Because
is there any way you can make 2 full bathrooms to take out this closet to make a walk-in shower and
that's a good suggestion, is like maybe that's that, or how do we just make this whole thing bigger for buyers to like this bathroom more? Because again,
everything takes money, too. So.
Yeah, that will be, as we're looking at numbers, that will be a big thing that we have to dive deep and focus on. So
okay. And is it the basement finished or?
It is not finished.
All right, so this is the basement.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's my basement criteria. It is dry. We've got great HVAC system. It's got enough space for if you wanted to finish it, you could finish it. Wanted to keep it as just a storage space, but for the most part, we're just looking for dry basements when we're hunting for these properties. Got a train unit, it's got a new air conditioner, so it's got what I call like grandparent mechanicals. It's a new windows. I'm like, it's in good shape. It's just old. It's tired. It has cosmetically. It's still the model home of 1992, and you just got to upgrade that.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Let's go to the next house, shall we?
Done.
This is the next one. We saw the previous one, and this is actually a couple weeks after they sold that one. We will be talking about that in the end of this video. Let's go inside. It's really cold here, so we're freezing.
It's freezing.
Freezing, yeah. All right, Jeff, thank you so much for letting us in. So tell me more about this house and how did you get the deal? You got this at a crazy price, which we'll be talking about, and then I feel the smell, and I think I know why. So
Yeah. So an owner called me on a Saturday from one of our online ads that we will buy your house. The she initially called me and my kids were screaming in the background while I was making lunch, and she told me to call her back later when I wasn't as busy. So we got off to a rough start. But came over here, met them, kind of saw what they were looking at. They inherited the house. They weren't interested in keeping it. They were in a situation where they wanted to move quickly, which, if you read between the lines, means they want a fast cash offer with as little hassle as possible. That's what we are trying to do more and more of. And so, I came over prepared to make them an offer basically on the spot. When we got here, the property was in pretty rough shape, pretty big project on our hands. Needed a full clean out. They wanted to do nothing. They just wanted to walk away. In the basement, there was some foundation issues, a bowing wall. Like we had to, there was going to be plenty of work for us to put this back together, but nothing that we're afraid of, nothing that we haven't done in the past. I find foundation problems is a excellent way to get properties at a deal and at a discount because the general public is very weary of them, and they'd rather you solve the problem than they solve the problem.
that's correct. And how much did you pay?
So we bought this house for 75,000. Um,
Wow.
75,000 in what I would consider a B plus suburb. In the area where after repair values go well into the twos, up into the threes. So we are in this for 75 grand so far.
Okay, yeah. So show us around, and I will link some pictures if you do have
Yeah,
them.
I mean this is for us. This is a full gut. Everything goes. Windows, new floors, new kitchen, new light fixtures, new everything. There's nothing current that we held on to. There's no, I think we're keeping the tub. I think we're keeping the water tank. And that's about it.
Wow,
So
awesome. Yeah, we have a dining room here, and then this is the
this
kitchen.
kitchen. Here's Dan. Dan does
Hey,
fantastic
what's up,
work.
man? How's everything?
Uh, this is the kitchen.
Mhm. All right, so this is the first bedroom. Are you guys going to be refinishing these floors or?
So we will put carpeting in the bedrooms. I am biased, but I'm someone who just likes carpeting in the bedroom. So I always, I try to flip for what I would buy myself.
Mm,
And I prefer carpeting in the bedroom. Truth be told, I think you can still, it is a cheaper thing to do, but I don't think it sacrifices quality. I think a lot of people do like carpeting in the bedroom. They like their feet warm when they plop down in the
yeah.
morning. So I don't think we're losing anything quality wise with putting carpeting in the bedroom.
And what about the windows? Are you going to be replacing them?
Windows will all be new. These windows will be gone. So we've got a good guy local to Parma that will be putting in new windows when we're ready.
Perfect.
One of my favorite things about this house is it's a small range. When you're renovating, I don't, renovating a big house means big inflated costs. Renovating a small house, a lot works better renovating a small house. Obviously, your material costs are lower because the house is not as big. So your labor costs go down because they don't need to be here as long to do it. The timeline can speed up on a smaller house because again, it's it's fundamental. 1,100 square feet is faster to remodel than 2,200 square feet. We can just go quicker.
Yeah.
When you're flipping houses, you want to be, we're not trying to do this, in one day, but I'm also not trying to hold this thing for 3, 4, 5, 6 months either. Like let's get moving and let's get going.
100%. So yeah, new windows. I love the fans. Here you go. And the bathroom. So are you gonna be reglazing the tub or putting a new one
Yep.
or?
So we'll reglaze the tub. It will be a white tub. By the time you see it on photos on the market, we will bring the bathroom back to life. The bathroom was one of probably the worst rooms in the house when we bought it. So
Third bedroom.
third bedroom. Yep. So this is again, we'll be carpeted. We'll have new windows in here. We put new trim in. We're painting it. Got new ceiling fan. Bedrooms are the easiest to facelift because they just go the fastest. There's not as much to do in the bedroom. Bedroom can make you feel good. When I tell people who are me as an agent, when people are renovating their own houses and doing it, I tell them like, look, the first thing I think you should do is your own bedroom because you need a space where you feel good about this house, right? So when you buy a project, you need to feel good that hey, I've at least got a spot. I got a spot for me that I don't feel like I'm living in a construction zone. I tell them to do their own bedroom because your bedroom you can actually do in a day. Your bedroom you can actually do in a weekend. Your bedroom can be done and done quickly, and now you can put, I can't put any new furniture in here, out in the front rooms because we're working on stuff for the next few weeks. But I could carpet this bedroom and just close this door. Again, this is not going to be the most enjoyable experience, but you could be living in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when people are buying their own things and they're flipping a house themselves or renovating their own project, and they're doing it in the live-in way, I tell everybody take care of your own bedroom first because you can actually do it. You can do it quickly, and it'll give you somewhere in the house that you feel good about.
100%. I totally agree, man. So let's go to the basement, shall we? I don't know what to ask you more because in the last scene, there's not much to ask,
Yeah. Hey.
At the end, we will set up 2 cameras and I'll ask you for some tips. All right, so this is the famous basement. So what's going on here, Jeff?
This is. Ooh. Truthfully, I don't even know if I've seen it with the lights on. So, it's in rough shape, but again, we will bring it back to life. Let's show you the most important part.
Oh, what happened here?
So there's quite a bit of bowing in this wall when we bought it. Quite a bit of bowing. Again, one of the ways that we get these properties at a discount is, again, the extent of problems that you'll solve will be the extent that your income makes. We take on a pretty big problem with buying houses with bowing walls, but to me it's one of the opportunities. It's so gone are kind of the days where there's just deals sitting out there for everybody to go get. So we've got to be creative and we've got to kind of expand our net in what we will buy.
Yeah.
And I'm very comfortable buying houses with bowing walls because I very much have a contractor that I trust to solve the problem.
So what happened here? I mean, most people when they hear like foundation issues or stuff like that, structural damage, they run away, Like
Yep.
we said, you're not one of those people. So can you tell us more what happened here? What's the fix? How much is it going to cost? And
Yep. So
yeah.
so good questions. So in my opinion, this house has a few things that were causing long-term foundation problems for this house. Number one, the gutters do not route into the sewer system. There's gutters just slap down water right on the outside of the house. So 10, 20, 30, 40 years of rain just falls and pressures on the outside of this house. And then if you actually go outside, you'll notice that the sidewalk kind of pitches towards the house as well. So we're basically just creating this exterior moat around the house over the last 40 years, basically putting too much pressure on these cement block walls, and over time it starts to bow, it starts to push, it just has pressure and pressure and pressure over time, and it just started to push in. So I use a company called Premier Wall Anchors. A colleague of mine, Ed, great friend.
This is not an ad, right?
No, not an ad. This is not paid. I would tell everybody, I'm like, call Ed, call whoever you want. But I have a lot of faith and a lot of trust, and I've seen their work in person. So a couple things they do. Number one, they put these pins in. When they put these pins in, they actually go through the exercise, and he's like, with this one we have what, 2, 4, 6, 7 pins in this wall alone. You can see them pull it back several inches as they go through the exercise of digging the area for these pins and then pulling them.
Wow.
They basically pull the wall. So they do that to remedy. Another thing that they do is this is a lifetime guarantee. So I don't want to pretend like I know what's going to happen once I pass in so many years, but as of right now, I have a certificate that if any problems ever happen with this wall and it just doesn't work for whatever reason, they will demo this wall and they will rebuild build it for me.
And big question, how much does it cost to do something like this?
I have no idea. I've never want to find out. But my favorite part about that is they're not in the business of demoing walls and rebuilding it. I like that level of guarantee
Yeah.
because they stand behind their product. They know what they're doing and they're confident in their product.
Yeah.
So we also add these carbon fiber strips over here. Where pins may not be necessary, but it just kind of holds on. The nice thing about it too, so we're gonna bring this basement back to life, but we're not gonna drywall over this. I want the new buyers to be able to see, hey, this is here. I want you to be comfortable with this. I want you to be able to monitor this in the event that there is a problem. You know what's going on. I could slap drywall over it and you'd never know, and that's a risk. But the nice thing is, I'm like, look, these are kind of ugly right now. You can paint over these. There's nothing you can do. You don't ruin the warranty by painting over them. You can paint over the pins. They take paint well. It's very, it looks pretty fine. This will be kind of I'm like, this won't be a fully finished, I consider this more of a workout room than like I'm gonna sit down here and watch TV.
Yeah, but they can finish this if they want. Like,
They could finish. The other side is probably more primed and better for finishing. But hey, don't let me tell you how to live. You do whatever you want.
100%. So it's just this side, right?
Yes, correct.
So Jeff, when you're buying something like this, like, do you have to bring like a
Oh, I can tell you on the cost of those.
structural engineer?
Yes. So I have an engineer that looks at it, tells us, hey, do we think that there's issues with this? Will this solve this? And that's part of when we buy these houses. I obviously don't do a general home inspection because we know we're renovating the whole thing. I don't need to know the current state of cabinets and toilets and all this.
Yeah.
All that stuff's going to be new. But what I do have is I have a couple people walk through the property, give me their input, give me their estimates, take a look and see, hey, this is what it's going to cost to bring back this. Hey, Jeff, this is a couple things that you should pay attention for. So we do have an engineer who comes in and we side by side with the wall anchor people, and we just make sure that we just don't want the wall to fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing.
So,
And then you gotta disclose this, obviously. You put
Yeah. disclosures,
put receipts and everything. And then the cost you said,
we pull permits, we do it all the right way, everything is on file. We've got all it above board. The wall anchors, the pins and the carbon fiber strips together, all out the door, cost me $8,100.
no way, man, that's so cheap. And people are running away from deals like this just because of that.
It is, again, to me, it's an opportunity to invest in something that the general public doesn't want to deal with. It's an opportunity to invest in a project where people shy away from it. Even experienced flippers and contractors will just shy away from foundation problems and issues. And for me, I'm like, I feel it's an area where we can come in and work and still make money.
Yes.
So.
Awesome. And one question, what's up with this panel here? Standing alone.
I actually think there's probably a water meter behind it. That's my guess. Nope. This is just a dart pool. This is just an area where they were throwing darts back 20, 30, 40 years ago, and they didn't want to keep hitting these
Wow.
blocks. So they just put this nice paneling up.
There we go. And then this is a half bathroom or a full one?
So that's a half bathroom.
Are you gonna turn it into a full potentially?
No, we're just gonna leave it like that. No, I'm just kidding. We will.
As is.
We will leave it as a half bath, but we will finish it. We don't want to add the plumbing to it to add another tub or anything like that. But to me, I'm like, if we add another toilet, we make it good. We'll be in good shape. We're gonna epoxy the floors, so it will look, very similar. I call it like it'll look like a commercial restaurant down here. But it'll give kind of the, it's finished, but it's not carpeted and won't be drywall or anything like that. We're gonna kind of leave it, call it like the exposed industrial.
So I mean, this is a great area. I have a house like I think it's like 3 streets away. It's gonna be listed at 229. It's not even.
Yep.
It's not gonna be even as this one, in such a nice condition. So this is probably like closer to 240, 250. Would you say?
I think so. With the renovations that we're doing, with where we're going, I don't, as a flipper, I don't get overly married to here's the price I'm going to sell it for. I have what I think is what I call it the sell safe number. So if you ever see my own spreadsheets, I have what I call a sell safe number. Basically, if we do this and we do it okay, if I come in here and I grade the renovation as like a B, I think we sell it for this number. So I always make sure that my sell safe number is a very modest, very attainable number. I'm very in the median of the neighborhood. Now, obviously, we're trying to go above that, but I don't get overly married to that. The reason I say that, I do think that we can go well into the mid twos with something like this, given all that we're doing to it. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that I have every answer for you. It's such early stage of the project.
That's a great answer. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I will sell this for 275,"
Yeah, no, I
and
think
then you see the finished product, and there's no way this is going to be
yeah,
worth
great
275.
idea. That's the fastest way to not be in business in a couple of years
Yeah.
is by missing your mark so inaccurately so often.
So you want to be conservative? Is that what you're
I
saying?
am,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say one of my best skills is how conservative I am with estimating and estimating what the after repair value is. It's kept me safe from some of my other mistakes that I make along the way. So if you're conservative with your numbers, I do think you will always to me that's just a good thing to do. Be conservative with your numbers.
Yeah.
Don't pretend like you're going to sell the high. I don't ever run any numbers thinking that I'm going to sell the highest selling house the neighborhood has ever seen. I'm like, that's silly. I'm not going to do that. I want to sell into what I call the top tier. I'm like, if I can just get into that top tier, awesome. I run the numbers to make sure that I'm in the middle tier. And if
Yeah.
it doesn't work for the middle tier, I'm out. I'm not buying
And
it.
if it doesn't work out, you can just move in here and live.
If it doesn't work out, I'm from the area. I love the area, and actually the Airbnb numbers in this area are pretty good. So
That's
if for
correct.
some reason we screwed it up, it'll be on the Airbnb website tomorrow.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, let's take a look outside. I'll set up 2 cameras and I'll ask you a couple questions, like a couple tips, and that's it. Outside, we have a 2-car garage.
Yep,
Awesome.
we need to paint that. Uh,
Paint this. What about the roof? Are you guys gonna be?
So the roof is a roof was another newer thing that I forgot to
Oh, that's awesome.
add. The roof is new. The roof was again one of the 3 pros of the early version of this house. So the roof is in good shape. We will leave the roof alone. That walkway needs to be you can spot our foundation problems right here.
Yeah, it's pitching towards.
We are just pitching towards the house, and we need to circumvent that basically. So we will jack up this concrete. We will grade around the house a little bit better, and I do think we've gone a long way by just doing those 2 things of solving our problem.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for showing us both of your houses. And for the end, let me ask you a couple questions, couple tips. A lot of people are going to be watching this and they will be, "Oh my God, it's not fair. He's a realtor. He has a brokerage. He has access to all of these crazy deals and he knows a lot of things." But how can an ordinary guy, somebody that doesn't have a license, somebody that wants to get into real estate investing, what would be the first start let's say the first step to start flipping homes and to find these off-market deals?
Yeah, I would say to me there's no advantage that I have that anybody else couldn't get themselves. Because there's nobody stopping you to creating your own website or being a guy who buys houses for cheap or for cash or for a deal. There's no special like, oh, you have to have a real estate license to do that. You can just start that. You can start today. You can start right now. So I would say, get it out of your head that you need to be in the business to be in the business. Would be one thing that I would definitely suggest people do.
Awesome, awesome. Obviously, you're a realtor, so what's your standing on? What do you think of wholesaling as a business? Do you wholesale?
I do not wholesale. I do what I call wholetailing.
Wholesaling. Oh, that's a good one.
Well, to me, the nature is wholesaling versus wholetailing. I think it's the understanding of hey, here's what I'm doing, and it's transparency. To me, I feel a lot of There are wholesalers who may be taking advantage of people by not telling them that, hey, I'm going to mark this up and I'm going to have somebody else come in and buy this. What I'm doing, I'm closing on the property myself. I'm making you the offer myself. I'm telling you what you could get on the market, and if you want the easy button, here's what I'm willing to offer you. And I'm comfortable with that. And so I do think there's a pretty big difference between closing on the property yourself and assigning a contract.
Yeah, because most of the times people don't know like what's actually going on. Yeah, so that's a really honest take on that.
And I'm not against wholesaling as a practice. I'm against wholesaling as someone who has a license and has to find a balance point between being a fiduciary and being a cash buyer.
Yeah, impossible almost. You told us about the previous house that we saw. This is couple months after that. So what happened to that house? Did you guys sell it, flip it, or how did that turn out?
So that one was a very quick, what I call a quick renovation, kind of what I call it's like our level one. We do a couple things just to make it nice, and we get it market ready, and we put it on the market. We don't do any heavy projects inside. We're just cleaning it up and moving along. We do nothing comparable to what you see here.
So how do you know what to like? Why don't you just paint this and put the flooring or put it on the market?
To me, I have it's a math problem for us. It's a spreadsheet formula. If I can get I will go through the exercise of, when I buy this in its current condition, I'm buying it at a deal. What could I put it on the market for tomorrow? So if I bought it for 75 and I could put it on the market for 100, what am I pocketing in that circumstance? With that pocket number, could I renovate it and 3 times that number, 4 times that number? If that's possible, then we will flip it, we will renovate it, we will go the whole way. If I deem that as challenging or maybe not possible, like I did in Brunswick, we will just do a couple little things and we will stick it back on the market. We're grading our time versus how much money we're putting into it, and how that all interacts with each other.
So that's a great response. How long does it take to, let's say, remodel something like this? How long?
So, this being a smaller house, it's a little bit nice because it can go quicker. I'm fortunate to have great contractors who are ready to go right when I closed on it. That's not always the case.
Yeah.
I think if we could be out of here, if we could be, almost wrapped up with the project or done, I don't like to speak in definites, especially in terms of something like this, but I think 60 to 90 days is realistic. And I do think we have the chance to go quicker than that. So,
and how much do you want to make on this one?
ideally, we're hitting over 50 grand on something like this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, so you flipping home after home. What's your long-term strategy in terms of real estate investing? Do you just want to keep flipping? To be more accurate with the question, what's your exit strategy when it comes to real estate?
Yeah, so I have kind of what I call the curse of the doer. I am very good at being in the moment. I'm very good at operating in the moment. I don't think I'm the most evolved or the best person in terms of my long-term goals and understanding, where I'm trying to go or what I'm trying to do. I know I should be doing this in the moment, but I don't. I'd be lying if I told you, hey, if I can just sell 82 of these, I will have enough money here where I can put it into an index fund. I never have to work again. I don't know that. My life changes. You know what I mean? I've got children, and you never know if my wife will want more,
Yeah.
So it's my honest answer to where it is. I know my future involves real estate, and it always does. But where it takes me, I'm like, let's keep flipping. Right now, let's keep buying good deals that pencil out well, and I will always have a place in the world if I keep doing that. So.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so if you flip 2 of these a month, that's 100,000 a month, 1.2 million a year, right?
I will say I'm trying to step back from being a real estate agent, a residential real estate agent, someone who goes in and works with buyers and shows them curtains and all this stuff.
I don't like the carpet. I don't like the tiles.
It's not where my passion is. So my real short-term strategy is to flip enough houses where I can replace that income. And I know how much that is. And that's about, I'd say that's about 5 to 10 flips per year. So if I can do that, then I'd be very happy in the short term, and it'll take me
to wherever is next.
So does it bother you in the long term that you have to find deal after deal after deal, or do you enjoy finding deals all the time?
I would say that's the part of the work that I like. Like, I'm still a sales guy. I'm still someone who likes getting a deal. And like, I still get excited when, when someone calls me and they're, hey, Jeff, I got this. Oh, cool. I do get excited when I come to these. It's definitely kind of the thing, there are parts of the business I have much more passion around, and that's still an exciting thing for me. And when it stops being exciting, maybe I do something else.
Yeah.
But for the moment, I'm like, I very much like that part of it. So I have no problem, again, the work, I got to do something as the work. To me, the work is finding it. I go to work every day trying to find the next one.
Yeah. So awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. Hopefully you learned something new. Do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and check out these videos I made.